There it is. Zalen, what kills must die. Uh, Another great work from Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett, in my opinion. This is a standalone, very much like Horseman Welcome to Flores Park. And I think it's going the same route, as in, this will be a series, definitely. This was a great read after reading Dirty Deeds and Ripazine. I'm still in the space mood, and this gave me my fill. Um, I got my C cover, of course, because, well, it's pretty obvious. It's the best cover. I really like the old school style of it, and I think it's Joe who did this. Um, and yeah, uh, I love it. The cover. Um, I thought I had to get the review out because, well, ISOM 3 is around the corner, like quite literally. And yeah, uh, I'm excited to talk about this, just like I was when I read Alpha Core and Horseman, also from the power duo Chuck and Joe. Um, in general, this book has a great reread value. I read it immediately after my first read, so I read it twice now, and I discovered little details here and there and some references. There's a lot of action in here. There's some great artwork, and my favorite part, it's full of alien life forms. And if you're a fan, you will get your fill. So let's jump into it. So, just like any issue of the Rippaverse, we get the Rippaverse code of ethics and a word from the writer, which is in this case Chuck Dixon. Or I'm not gonna spoil the whole story, but I'll give you the gist of it. The story starts with a panel you might recognize from the preview. Well, at least this one, the big one. Uh, there seem to be aliens, and it looks like the water of their planet has disappeared. And you can see it here. It's being taken away by some hostile alien life forms. So this is where Zalen comes in, the character. Um, he's very, he's like a cosmic Superman, but also has characteristics from maybe Judge Dredd. And he's very much my way or the highway. What kills must die. So if you kill something, you will die by the hand of Zalen. And we start the story with, well, how this problem here is going to be resolved. um, Besides Zalen, there's also some supporting characters which I really didn't anticipate. Well, in hindsight, it should have been obvious because it's hard to do a comic with just one character. But he's supported by a space elf called Tala and a mechanic alien called Bong. Um, and they're the crew on his ship. And the rest of the crew is filled in with an alien life form called Jamas, who are reminiscent of the minions from Despicable Me. And there's certainly moments where you will laugh at them, their behavior, and their, well, shenanigans. Um, the story is basically a journey through space with Zalen doing some work. What making true to his credo: what kills must die. So if you kill, directly or indirectly, Zalen will take care of you. It's a very introductionary story to most characters. So not just Zalen. You get to learn about his abilities, but also his characteristics. Um, but you also get to know a little bit about, like I said, the other characters. Um, who are they? What is their role? How did they meet? Um, yeah, and it's very much a setup for a series. I think they're very confident, and they should be in this IP. As far as I know, Zalen is an independent contractor, but he does work occasionally for let's say a faction called the Sentinel Initiative, but he's very much independent, as he says very firmly, but will do jobs for them when it fits his time schedule. Um, so, like I said, we get to learn a bit about Zalen's powers, his characteristics, but also we delve into his background. We don't get a really detailed background, but they lay a foundation for it, and they build mystery. And by the end of it, it leaves you wanting more, and it sets up for an eventual inevitable series. All right, let's talk about the art. I think this might be the best work yet from Joe Bennett because at any given panel, there's so much going on. There's so much detail, and I have to give my compliments to the colorists as well. They really complement each other. Uh, this is a great example of what I mean. There's so much going on here, there, everywhere you look. There's something. Um, there were some occasions where there was a bit too much going on and I couldn't make heads of tails of it. I think it was one or two panels I struggled with. I had to look a little bit longer at. I'll pull it up if I had a screenshot from it. But I had to, like, if I have to look at it longer to see what's going on, then it kind of takes me out of the story a bit. But it was a minor complaint, to be honest. Um, there's a lot of splash pages. This is just one of them. I showed you one earlier. There's more. Here's a half page or a 1 page splash, followed up by a 2 page splash, and that's more of it. I think it's necessary because we're dealing with cosmic events, planets, giant ships, a lot of action as well. I think it works really well. As of Zalen himself, I think his look is very cool. You can see here, very reminiscent of Superman. He has the cape. He has the pose. The difference, obviously, is his face. He doesn't look like a happy-go-lucky guy at all. He looks like a serious, maybe even villainous. If you don't have any context, you might think he's a villain. And I think it works because of his morals. It could be interpreted as being morally gray. What kills must die. It's a bit of a harsh credo, but yeah, I really like his design. And then, of course, the lettering. This is a ripverse thing. I've noticed now. They're really creative with lettering. When aliens are speaking, you can see the fonts are different. And sometimes the text bubbles are a different color. I think it just distinguishes the characters from each other better. And it gives them, maybe there's an idea of they have an accent, or maybe it's just like they have a really deep voice. You can leave your imagination off on that with the text bubbles. And then, of course, the elephant in the room here. I have to say, I didn't really notice this until Eric put out the video. I was like, wait, misprint? Because, of course, when you're reading, you just hold it like this. You don't really notice. And then if you look closer, it's like, oh, no, I see. It's a misprint. A bit sloppy, yes, but the compensation was well worth it. I got a coupon for 60% of my next order. So that's big. And I'm not going to refund this just because of the cover. I will only be able to get it cover D next, so that's not going to happen. It didn't bother my reading experience. Like I said, I didn't even notice it. Things I do notice is when there's typos. When I'm reading, I have to read thoroughly because, well, I'm not native English, so I pay a lot of attention to it. So I notice when there's a word missing. That annoys me way more than stuff like this. Yeah, that was like I said, the art is exceptional. I think Chuck and Joe are amazing duo. That being said, I think they need to make some time on their agenda if they have multiple series going, because Alpha Core is running, Horseman is running, and I think Zalen is up next, so they might be doing 3 series. That has me worried a bit, but also excited at the same time. At the end, at last, finally, I wanted to address something in my review of Great War of Separation. I had some critiques on the pages that were fully in Spanish. Because, well, I don't know the Spanish language, and I had to Google or use AI to translate what was going on there. And it it affected my reading experience because I didn't know what was going on, and what was being said was really important. So they do it again here. However, it works. And it works for 2 reasons. The first being it's an alien language. So no one on this planet, except for the people at Rippaverse, understand what's being said. So I don't feel left out. And the second is there's great visual storytelling. You don't need to know what they're saying because they show you what's happening and you can fill it in. This is how I would like to see it in the future. This is very creative. They created an alien language I might have to learn. And yeah, all in all, I think this is a great book. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of action, a lot of visually pleasing things going on, splash pages, amazing art. I laughed a lot because of the Yamas, the minions. They were doing some shenanigans. And that was it got me invested in the background of Zalen, and I'm excited for what's gonna come next because I think I know where they're going near the end, and it makes me want to have a series. So yeah, job well done.